If you are joining us for the first time, thank you and welcome. And if you are coming back to us, we appreciate you and are happy to see you again. Today's class is going to be a 60-minute calming vinyasa flow. Vinyasa means to kind of match your breath with a movement. So for every movement, for every inhale there's a movement, and for every exhale there's a movement. If at any time you feel like you cannot match your breath to a movement, go ahead and come to an easy sit or a child's pose or maybe a mini shavasana, so you can kind of bring that breath back into control so you can resume moving with your breath. So we're going to be working on that today. Today's focus is going to be on the core, the back and the abdominal muscles, the side body, the tops of the thighs, the top of the back, the top of the shoulders. Everything from about mid-thigh to the tops of your shoulders is your core. And we can strengthen the core without doing crunches. So we're going to be working on that today, thinking about that sometimes the mind is our biggest obstacle, and that we can push past that and do a lot more than you can imagine. So with that being said, let's go ahead and begin with some breathing exercises. And we're going to really involve the belly in this breath. So let's go ahead and place one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. And we're going to really breathe with the belly. So just let it all go and let it out. And then you're going to inhale. And your belly's actually going to expand. And on your exhale, feel the belly draw in. Inhale. Exhale. Draw it in. Inhale, feel it expand, exhale, draw it in. Continue with that pattern, noticing the difference between breathing with the belly and breathing with the chest. Seeing what feels different in the lungs, what feels different in the body, and what feels different in the head with that breath pattern. Again, on our inhales, letting the belly rise, and on the exhales, drawing the belly in. Continue that on your own. And then you can go ahead and release and return to a normal breath. But think about really breathing through the belly today rather than breathing through the chest. And sometimes breathing through the belly can make you feel a little bit dizzy. So if that ever happens, just come back to a natural breathing pattern for you so that you don't feel dizzy. We never want to feel dizzy in yoga or in life, but definitely not in yoga, because then that's when you can fall down. So let's start by just loosening up the wrist. We are going to spend some time on the wrist today. So let's take the back of our hands and stretch it down. So you can do all of your fingers, or notice by just pulling down your index and your middle finger how that feels differently on your wrist. If you have really tense wrists, go ahead and use all 4 fingers. But if you'd like a little more, just take the index and the middle finger and see how that feels. Let's go ahead and switch it out. Great job. Let's interlace those fingers, rotate those wrists, and then bring the arms up overhead, pulling the shoulders down. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat and start to rotate the neck. Maybe letting the shoulder fall to the left side, drawing the chin down to center, drawing the ear over to the other shoulder. Just taking time to notice where it feels tight and pausing there. you feel your neck start to kind of stop in one space, maybe taking your hand and just giving yourself a little mini massage to feel it kind of loosen up a little bit. Inhale, bringing your head back up to neutral. And since we're thinking about our core through this whole class, really try to engage that core, draw the belly into the spine, have a straight spine, align everything, and thinking about really that your abdominals are responsible for holding yourself upright. Having a strong core will really help prevent back problems. So think about the benefits of really engaging that core, holding up your spine to prevent those back pain in the future. From here, let's inhale, arms up overhead, dropping the left hand to the mat, inhaling, getting tall, exhaling over to the left side. Careful not to collapse on the left side, rather using the right side of the core to hold yourself up and bring length to the side body. Eye gaze should be on the ceiling, on the elbow, really thinking about spinning open the chest and elongating the core. Let's reach a little bit further. Inhale your way back up to center, dropping the right hand to the mat. Inhaling, getting long in the spine, drawing the belly in, and then exhale, reach. Checking in with your alignment, maybe spinning the chest open. Concentrating on bringing strength to the left side of the body. Reach a little bit further, and then inhale back up. Exhale, arms down. So you can have your legs in easy sit here, or you can extend them long in front of you. Whatever's easier on your knee. But from here, we're gonna do a little wrist exercise, but also start to warm up the core. So let's place the hands behind your back, fingers facing your seat. Inhale, and lift your seat off the mat, just warming up the core here. Maybe readjust. Bringing those hands behind you again. Inhale, lift. This time allowing the head to follow with the spine. Trying to bring your body in one line. This is a lot like a reverse plank, but just with your legs crossed if you're in easy sit. Exhale, set it down. Great job. Let's shake out those wrists again. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, set it down. From here, let's go ahead and turn towards our neutral tabletop position. So you're coming in line, wrists under your elbows, knees under your hips. I teach this every time I teach cat-cow or neutral tabletop. But we're really thinking about engagement here. So when my wrists are relaxed and I'm not really engaged, I'm putting a lot of pressure on my wrist. But if I really engage all the muscles on my fingers, my elbows turn in towards my knees. So let's look at that again slowly. My elbow points are pointing towards you right now when I'm not engaged. But if I inhale, really engage all my fingers, all my joints, my elbow points naturally turn in towards my knees. And now I'm engaged, I have a lot more support, and I'm not going to fall. Likewise, I'm going to draw my belly in, engage all the muscles of my core, of my back, the tops of my thighs, and I'm very stable here. So let's just practice that, engaging everything here. I'm not moving at all, but I'm strengthening my core. No crunches involved. So let's release the core a little bit and then start to flow through our cat-cow breath. So inhale, dropping the belly, arching the back, lifting the head. Exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here, let's curl the toes and lift our knees like we're going to push up into down dog, but let's just hover here, looking forward. Set the knees down. Let's set it back into a child's pose, stretching the arms forward. Maybe coming up onto the fingertips to relieve the wrist. And let's come back into that neutral tabletop and try that again. Checking in with the elbow alignment. So make sure that they're pointing towards your knees. Curl those toes, lift the knees, and hover. Eye gaze is probably about a foot, 2 feet in front of the mat. Set it down. Coming back down. Neutral tabletop again. This time we're going to go ahead, lift those knees, hover, and then go ahead and push back into our down dog. Go ahead and adjust your down dog any amount that you need to feel like you have an equal strength balance between the hands and the feet. Really engaging through those wrist points that we talked about earlier, turning the elbow points in. I'm pushing the chest towards the thighs. Drawing the belly into the spine. And let's walk our dog here. Knowing that for some of us, our heels will never touch the ground just because of how short our Achilles tendons are. Over time, they will lengthen, but for some of us, our heels will never touch the ground, and that's okay. Let's inhale and start to walk our feet up towards the hands. Exhale, and without force, just let the top of the body kind of dangle down over the lower body. Option to do your hands any way that feels natural in this first forward fold. Maybe hugging the arms and taking a sway back and forth. Maybe giving yourself a little hug. Maybe resting the wrist down. Maybe taking little tiny rocks back and forth. Let's place our hands on our shins. Inhale, lifting up halfway, making sure your back is flat, core is drawn in. Exhale, and forward fold. Inhale yourself all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, arms down. So when we're standing in mountain, which is the top of your sun salutation, you're going to strengthen your entire core, drawing the belly in, tightening the glutes, the tops of the thighs, straightening the back, pulling the shoulders back and down, and making yourself solid. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, drawing the belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step back into a plank, 1 foot at a time, and pause here in our plank position. Planks, people tend to practice all the time, but sometimes your planks look like this when you get really fatigued, or sometimes our planks kind of look more like a down dog when we get really fatigued. So your plank should look like one line. Drawing the belly in, drawing the glutes in. But when you get fatigued and sag, that's when you can start to actually injure your spine. So if you ever get fatigued, it's better to take that knees down position to where you can still be in alignment. So we're going to start off here. So we're going to draw the chest down in between the arms, allowing the ribs to brush by the arms. And then inhale, take a baby cobra, hands under the shoulders, making adjustments. Inhale, lifting just the chin and the chest off the mat. And in this pose, thinking about stretching the front body and strengthening the back body. Exhale, push back towards the knees. Inhaling, lifting those toes, hover. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling, walking the feet up to the hands. Stangle here for a moment. Drawing the belly in. Pulling the chest towards the thighs. Bending your knees if you need to make that chest to thigh connection. Inhaling, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, using your core strength, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Taking a moment to pause here, checking in with the core, the back, the glutes, the chest, making sure everything's engaged, drawn in, really strong. Let's inhale and do all of that again. Exhale, drawing the belly in as a support as you fold. Inhaling, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back into a plank. Taking the plank or the knees option if you feel fatigued. If you're in your plank, it helps for your chaturanga if you tilt forward and then lower. Pausing here. Inhaling, lifting up to cobra this time, where we have our belly, chest, and chin lifted. Exhale, hover here, and then back into our down dog. Inhale, walk the feet up to the hands. We're going to do this one more time before we start to flow. Maybe this time, walking the feet onto the tops of the hands, giving yourself a little wrist massage, but also drawing that chest closer to the knees. Again, bending the knees as much as you need to make that connection. Drawing the belly button closer to the spine. Release the hands. Place the hands on the shins. Inhale, lifting up halfway, using your core strength. Exhale. Relax it down. Inhale, lifting up from the core. Exhale. Set it down. So we're going to move through this one a little more quickly, but take any modifications that you need to. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for up dog. This time thighs lifted off the mat. Exhale. Taking your time into your down dog. Inhale, walking the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Great job. Take a giant step to the center of your mat with your left foot. From here, we're going to move into some forward folds with the wide-legged position. So I really want to focus on hinging at the waist. So to make this a movement of strength rather than flexibility, you're going to engage your core, tuck the tailbone under, draw the belly button in, place the hands on the hips, and think about the hinge joint, the hinge of a door almost. Inhale, starting to tilt over, thinking about keeping your body in one line, your chin following. And stop when you feel your back start to round. Option to bend your knees so that you can keep your body straight. Maybe turning your heels out and your toes in. Finally, reach down with your peace fingers and grab those two big toes, drawing that belly in and pulling the chest forward. Exhale, hands on the shins, lifting up halfway with that flat back. Exhale it down again. We're going to do some side body strengthening and stretching here. So with my right hand, I'm going to reach for my left toe, turning my chest towards my left leg. Inhaling and lifting up that left arm. Bringing length to the backs of my legs and strength to my core. Bringing your hands towards the center. Let's inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bringing my left peace fingers over towards my right toes. Pulling my chest towards my right thigh. And then lifting my right arm towards the ceiling. Remembering to bring that belly into the spine. Go ahead and come back to center. Inhaling, using your core strength, lift up halfway. Pause here, and then using your hands, walk yourself back up to standing. Roll the shoulders back and down. Interlacing those fingers behind you. Let's draw the head back and maybe take a micro bend here, pulling the hips forward. Using the other part of our core, the front side of our core, to hold ourselves up. Let's come back to neutral here, still with our hands behind our back. Inhale, hinge forward again, flat back. Stopping if we feel our back starting to round. And then inhale, slowly lift the arms off the back as far as what feels comfortable, protecting the core, drawing the belly button in. Inhale, dropping the hands down. Exhale, back up. Taking a giant step back up to the front of the mat. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold down. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold down. Stepping back into your plank or your knees position. Chaturanga. Inhale, Exhale. Let's pause and hover. And then push back. Inhale, walking the feet up to the hands. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down. Rolling those shoulders back and down again. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Stepping back into plank. This time, let's drop the knees, really engaging that core, allowing the chest to glide through and set the legs down. So we're going to spend some time on our belly here. So let's take a rest. So this is reverse Shavasana. Some people prefer it over traditional Shavasana. But our toes are pointed in, our heels are out to the side, the backs of our hands are resting on the mat. The natural curve in your spine is there. About 15, 20 more seconds here. Great job. Let's inhale and turn our chin towards the front of the mat. Make any adjustments that you need to so that we can move into Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose, that's hard to say fast. We're going to focus on the upper start part of our back, our mid back, and our low back. So to begin, we're going to reach our hands in front. So elbows are under the shoulders, hands extended long. And then we're going to inhale and just lift. So this is strengthening the upper back and stretching the abdominals. We just really worked on engaging all of the abdominals, and so let's give those a little break and give them some length and stretch them out. Really trying to hold yourself up with your back muscles rather than your arms. Also, try to think about releasing the glutes. The glutes have a tendency to really get tight here, but we're focused on strengthening the back muscles. Great job. Let's sit that down. Give yourself a break, turning to one side. So we're going to move into half locust. And this can feel really awkward. And if it feels awkward, you're probably doing it right. Now, don't confuse awkward with pain. But you're going to kind of roll to one side and turn your palm down to where you're sitting, where you're laying on your hands. Your elbows are underneath you. And then roll to the other side, rolling the other hand underneath you. Kind of pull yourself forward until like your elbows are like a shelf. You're going to inhale, strengthen all the muscles of your right leg and lift. Try to relax the muscles of your left leg, just relying on your back strength. Inhale, lifting higher. Exhale, release. Making any adjustments on the hands that you need to. Strengthen all the muscles of your left leg. Inhale, lift. Again, trying to relax the muscles of your right leg, relying on your back strength to lift that leg off the mat. Inhale, lifting higher. Relax it down. This time we're going to lift up both legs. So adjust your hands if you need to. Trying to keep your toes together. Strengthen all the muscles of both legs and inhale and lift. Maybe allow those feet to come out just a little bit, lift higher, and then draw them back together. Release. Release the hands. Turn the chin to the side. Reverse Shavasana. Great job. Turning the chin forward. Let's take that Sphinx pose one more time. Elbows under the shin, elbows under the shoulders, hands extended forward. Inhale and lift. Really thinking about pulling yourself forward without making any movements to the hands. Looking up high. Great job. So we're going to combine and do full locust. So our hands are going to be long. So you can just kind of engage and pull forward to prepare. Arms can be behind us, in front of you. Got a little space challenge here. We're going to inhale and lift up everything. Roll our arms forward, through and extend. Trying to pull the feet together. Lift higher. Release. Turning your cheek to the other side now. Turning the chin forward, let's start to work our way into floor bow. So I'm going to reach back with my right hand, and grab my right foot, pulling it towards my seat. And just staying here. Go ahead and release that foot down. Reach back with your left hand to grab the left foot and pull it towards the seat. Release that down. Lift up both hands behind you. Bring up both feet and grab and pull in. Trying to keep those knees together. Rolling the shoulders back rather than letting the elbows splay out. Rolling the shoulders back. Maybe the shoulders lift off the mat here. Maybe the chin lifts off the mat here. Maybe the tops of the knees are lifting. But not going into the full expression of the pose yet, but really activating all the muscles of the back. Go ahead and release that down. Take a few breaths. So while you're breathing, I'm going to go ahead and grab a blanket and show you a couple of modifications for our floor bow. So I'm going to roll this up, and I'm going to place it at the crest of my pelvis. So right here, right at the top of the pelvis. So to prepare for my floor bow, and this is going to tilt my chest forward, but it's going to lift my legs higher off the mat. So again, I'm going to reach back with both hands. And then I'm going to inhale and lift. Seeing that this little soft blanket gives me a lot more lift here. Focusing on those shoulders. Checking in with the elbows and wrists. Drawing those knees together. Inhale and lift. And then set it down. Release the hands, release the feet, and take a moment to breathe. I'm going to lift up just to move that blanket from the lower part of my crest of my pelvis to the upper part. And I'm going to do the same thing. This time this is going to push my chest forward, and I'm going to come up higher on my chest. But same movement. Make any adjustments. Grabbing both feet. Inhale and prepare. Lift. Checking in with your alignment and lift a little bit higher. Release down. Try to really get this in the center of your pelvic crest. And then we're going to lift everything up. Let's prepare. Inhale, lift. Trying to balance. Inhale and lift higher. Exhale. Release. Let's go ahead and remove that blanket. Set it to the side. And we're going to see how our body feels without that support. Reach up with both hands to grab both feet. Make sure the knees are drawn together. Check in with the shoulders. Inhale. And lift. Noticing that if your chest is higher, your lower back strength is the strong point. If your legs are higher, then probably your upper back is stronger. Inhale and lift higher. And then exhale, release. Turning those toes in, heels out, palms facing the mat. Placing your hands under your shoulders. Let's push up into our tabletop position. Lifting up our knees, hovering for one more time. Exhale. Down dog, bringing some length back to our spine that we just worked on. Pushing the chest towards the thighs. And then hover. Slowly, 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 before setting it down. From here, let's go ahead and work our way towards our back. All right, so now we're going to strengthen our core without any push-ups at all. So let's come towards our back. Bending up one knee, or bending up both knees. Leave the left foot on the mat and lift up the right to where it's straight. Trying to keep the legs in one line. Inhale, lift the seat up off the mat, noticing that the legs are going to come forward. And then let's inhale and lift higher. Hold. Exhale, lower down. Let the right leg return to the floor. Inhale, lift the seat off the mat. Exhale it down. Now we're going to lift the left leg towards the ceiling. Adjust the feet. Inhale, lift up. Trying to keep the pelvis even here. Inhale and lifting higher. Exhale, down. Feet towards the mat. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, set it down. This time, with the seat on the mat, we're going to bend up both legs. So with your legs glued together, feet flexed, think about lifting both legs without really lifting. So this is just a tightening of the lowest part of your abdomen and of the glutes. So I'm not really moving, I'm just engaging, releasing. Very small movement, but very intense work. Using the core strength, the very lowest part of your abdominals to make that micro lift and release. Let's continue to do that. Engage, release. Engage, release. Engage, release. From here, let's cross the right leg over the left knee, drawing those in. Maybe rolling back and forth here. Uncrossing those legs. Shooting those legs up again. This time we're going to reach towards our toes. So with both arms, we're just going to reach. Legs not moving. And then set it down. Reach towards your toes. Think about doing your forward fold when you reach forward, except you're on your back. Set it down. Inhale, in one line, lift towards the feet. Seeing if you can touch your toes. Set it down. This time we're going to cross the left leg over the right and bring that into the chest. Rolling from side to side. And release it down. Let's work our way up towards our elbows. So push yourself up. And then we're going to come back up to a seat here. So I'm going to do a little boat pose, and it's not everybody's favorite, but it's a really good core strengthener. So you're just going to start with your knees bent, and just lift the feet off the mat and hover here, keeping your back straight, drawing the belly in, extending the arms. Option to bring the legs long or bring them in. And then let's pretend that we're going to lower all the way to the mat, but not, oh, we changed our mind, and come back up. Pretend we're going to lower all the way down, staying engaged, and come back up. Extend, come back up. Let's do that 3 more times. Last time. Hugging yourself, drawing those knees into the chest, Let's set the feet down. Set the elbows down. Dropping the head back. Extend the feet long. In our fish pose. Really opening up the throat. Before relaxing down. Resting the hands on the belly. Checking in with the strength that is there. You have a very strong core. Even if there's some stuff on top of your core muscles, you have a really strong core underneath there. So just feel and know that you have those muscles there. Keeping in mind that your abdominal muscles are responsible for helping hold your spine upright, helping hold your organs in. From here, let's lift our legs up again, and we're just going to stay here for a moment. If you have a wall close to you, you can bring your legs up to the wall. Maybe pointing and flexing the feet, drawing that belly button in. Drawing the knees into the chest, forehead into the knees. Again, let's bring the legs up, drawing the belly button in. Again, curl up into a ball. Tighten every muscle of the core, the back. Legs back up. Drawing that very bottom of your abdominal muscles in. One more time. Tight as you possibly can. And then start to relax the back and the neck towards the mat. Let's relax the feet towards the mat. Extending the left leg long. It's time to tuck the toes under the left knee. Reach up with the left hand and grab for the outside of the right knee and turn over towards the side. Lift up the right arm and extend it out to the side. Gaze can be on the right hand. Feeling like you're rinsing yourself out like a dish rag. Feeling all the muscles of your abdominals that you've worked today, knowing that they're there. Let's come back to center. Release the right leg to the mat. Using the abdominal muscle to lift the left leg up into that position. Turning the toes under. Reaching with your right hand towards the outside of the left leg and pulling that over to the side. Lifting up the left arm, going over to the side. And now let's come back to center again. One last time. Draw the chest, the knees in, the head in. Make a super tight ball. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze and hold. And then release down into your Shavasana. This time the heels can be closer together, the toes out to the sides, backs of the hands on the mat. Adding any creature comforts that you like. Maybe bringing that blanket underneath the neck. Maybe bringing a pillow underneath the knees. Maybe covering the eyes. Maybe making sure that your shoulders are drawn into the mat, allowing the natural curve of your spine to return. You have about 1 minute left in your Shavasana. Making sure that you're still present in the room. let's start to reawaken our body by reaching our index fingers towards our thumbs and extending the rest of the fingers long. Maybe point the feet, flex the feet, make a fist with your hands, opening the fingers wide. Point and flex and make a fist and open the fingers wide. Maybe start to circle the wrist one way, circle the feet one way, and then rotate. The other direction. Reaching the arms long overhead on the mat, pointing the toes long, and stretch your body on the ground as long as you possibly can. And then when you're ready, start to turn to one side. Resting on one arm, and when you're ready, let's make our way back up to an easy sit position or legs long in front of you. Remembering that a lot of times the obstacles in our path are in our mind and that you can overcome that. Let's come back to the same breathing position that we started with. But this time we're going to do some Brahmari breaths. So Brahmari breaths are your inhales are through the nose and your exhales are out of your nose, but you're making a humming sound. So I want you to feel those vibrations. So again, let's place one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. We're going to inhale and then exhale, hum. So that was our practice round. Again, we let the belly guide the inhale with the belly expanding. And then when we hummed, we felt the belly slowly drawing in and we felt a vibration in our chest. So let's do that 2 more times together. Inhale. Inhale. This time, inhale and then an om. Thank you guys for joining the practice today. I really appreciate your effort in showing up to the mat. Think about as you move throughout the rest of your day, your evening, whenever you take this class, really drawing that belly button in, drawing the spine straight, and strengthening that core at all times. With that in mind, inhale the arms up overhead for one last breath together, sealing the hands at the top. Bring your hands to heart center. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.